Welcome to Deep Thought. Have faith in God, but lock your doors. And let's be clear. First of all, I'm not going to promote any version. I'm using that term because it's recognized by many, but people might have different terms or different ways that they follow deity. Indeed, some people may not even follow deity. That's cool. That's your choice. But this is something just in general, regardless of how you choose to worship Supreme Being. Like, yes, you can have faith, but you still got to do practical stuff. And that actually came from a saying I heard about, one from a general saying I heard from Muslims. They would say, have faith in Allah, but lock up your camel, like tie up your camel. And my grandmother, she had a ton of faith in God and everything. She was definitely churched. But she still said if she saw a group of guys coming down the street, she'd cross the street. Look, here's the thing with it, and this is one of the main things. I don't care how you worship. Don't be in that position where you're not looking at the practical things. Now, there's that joke I've told several times, story I told, and I forgot where I got it from, but it's something I'll probably share it again and again because it's very apropos. Here is it's about a priest who was in an area that was a flood. It was a great flood. He was on a roof, and he prayed to God to come save him. And a boat came. Well, as he was one boat came by and said, "Get on." Say, "Oh no." The priest was like, "Oh no, I'm waiting for God." The water kept getting higher. Another boat came by and said, "Hey, get in." He's like, "Oh no, I'm waiting for God." Then a third boat came and it's like, "Yeah, you gotta get in. I'm waiting for God." The priest ended up drowning. When the priest went to heaven, the priest was like, "Well, God, I prayed for you to come send me." And God was like, "I sent 3 boats." Look, yes, we want to have a connection with spirit. We want to look beyond us. That's just human nature, regardless of what path you follow. But you still got to have some common sense. Yes, I have. Look, I'll just say I'm spiritual. I don't tell you what I practice, anything, because I don't want to unduly influence people. But I still lock my doors. I don't do anything. I got very strong faith, but I still do it. Now, people who follow me know I had a stroke back in October. And part of the reason I recovered was my faith, my spiritual practices and everything. That was the thing. But I still had to get up and walk. I still had to do the therapy. I still had to do the work and still doing the work. See, the thing is, faith without works is useless. You still gotta do stuff. You can pray. I advise it. However you choose to worship deity, I advise it. And if you don't, hey, I respect that too. But you still gotta do the work. That's the thing. You still can't push stuff. You can't, if you drive and you can't leave your car door open. Or unlocked if you're in wherever you are. Or you walking and you see a group of guys that look like they might walk you or like jump you or something. You might have to turn around. I remember a time when I was young. It was when I was still living in D.C. in North Michigan Park, and I was walking home, and my path was taking me under this bridge. It was night, and I remember as I was walking to it, this guy just came and just stood in the middle right there, and I stopped. I was like, okay, only see the guy. Now, at the time, I was like, yeah, I can handle one guy, but I don't know who's in the car, and I don't know what he got, so I just turned around. So, and I don't have no problems admitting to that because I ain't know the whole situation, and it was like, I'm seeing it right there. Like sometimes you'll see stuff and you still got to do the work. It's not magic. You can pray for $1 million. Hey, you can pray, you can have faith. If you look at the biographies or stories of many people who are successful, they'll tell you they had some type of strong faith, but they still did the work. Yeah, you can pray for $1 million, but you still got to do something to make $1 million. You still got to do that hard work to make $1 million. you know? And that's very important. That's very important. Because you get some people, they'll say, well, they praying, or, whatever their path is, or, they looking at all the stars and whatever, regardless of the path. It's like, hey, they saw some birds flying, there's a certain symbol, there's so many different paths. But you still got to do the work for it. You still got to do the work. That's why, and I said that before. I think I did a video on it, done so many, where, you get some people, they want money, and they praying for money, but then they don't have any way, they don't have a job. It was like, okay, let me use that for an example. They can pray for a job, but they still got to go out and go look for it. They still got to go out and still go look for it. I remember, like I said, I always said I had 1,000 jobs. I remember, and this was back in 2005. I had my business, but it wasn't making enough money for me. And I said I had to get a job. Now, did the prayer, but I still got out and I got the shoes on, dressed nice, went out. Came home with 2 jobs that day. I still had to go around. He still had to drive to a couple different places. In fact, one of the jobs was at this gym. It was at a gym. I wasn't even looking for a job there, but, I saw the gym and went in. I said, hey, y'all have any openings? And they just happened to have an opening. Yes, I did, man. You trust me, I prayed before then, but I still had to do the work. And then I actually had a bonus with not only a gym to work at, but a gym to work out at. I had a bonus, but I still had to do the work. See, regardless of whatever faith you are, and I would say this about faith, the reason I don't promote it, because every man and woman needs to find their own path and be satisfied with it. And no, don't try to get somebody, that's one thing I don't tolerate, is somebody trying to get you to follow their path. Nah, I don't believe in that. Because if I did, trust me, I'd be promoting something very specific on here. I'd have a whole channel promoting and probably get a large following. But that's not me. That's not me. I want everybody to find their own way. But, the thing is, you still have to do the work. You still got to find it. Like that, when I was talking about the gym example. I mean, I knew I needed a job, and I just happened to see it. I didn't know it was there. I just happened to be driving and say, oh, there's a gym there. Let me stop in. Boom. And that's how things will work. You'll get some openings or something like that, but you still got to do it. You still got to get up. You got to do the footwork. You got to do what's necessary. As it's said, faith without works is dead. That's those who follow the Christian path will say that. So, I mean, that's cool. And I'm just saying, as I said in another video, I'm not promoting anything in particular. But if they have a good saying or something, boom. So that's the thing. That's the whole thing. You want to have that faith in a higher power, but you still want to do the work. You still want to exercise some common sense. You still want to lock your doors. Yeah, you can pray like, hey, nobody robbed me or nobody break in my house. But yeah, still want to lock the doors and maybe buy a security system depending on where you're at. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Just something for y'all to think about, okay? And I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.